The screen is messed up. I think the colors are very, I don't know, very colorful and pink. Yeah? Mariusz, what do you think? Okay, don't focus on that. So my presentation is Prettier-ruby, Ruby formatters overview. I took some quote from old book about which treat about how to code with good style and well maintainable and understood code. So this is the quote: "Good programmers are those who already have learned a set of rules that ensures good style." So this is old topic. As you can see, Ruby was not even in faults of maths. That was 1974 years, so that was really old times. So in the Ruby world, at the beginning we just used methods which we have in Ruby. The style get born. So after some time we got some styling guides, some sites with that, how to code fine, how to put the Ruby comments understood and fine. Next stage, I think that we argue sometimes that some code is better understood if we do some blocks with the do end block or others blocks with other notations. So we argue in code review, but this is not the case in the code review only to focus on style, because main thing is what code does and not how it's done, because we have now the linters which check and say what is wrong with the code. This is not only about the style. Linters are also checking if it's something secure or can be better done, more maybe has something better performance. So the linters are the next stage, and the currently stage maybe is now when we can use automatic formatters, which is our topic. So that takes our code and enforce consistent style, reformats what we wrote, and we don't even care about how we format the, for example, table. If we split over the 80 characters or not, we just run the formatter on the save, on paste, or something like that, and it does all the easy stuff which we can argue on code review, and this is simple just. So let's analyze the code and reprint it on the same file, and we don't care about how to style it. We have first try projects, maybe even scripts, was in 2008. I saw some script for formatting the code from Ruby. Aiden also was some Ruby gem. Ruby Beautify was also followed by JS Word Beautifier. but those projects are they are not developed yet, so they are not counting in the formatters for now. But on the left side, we see that Rubocop is well known in the linters world in Ruby, but we also have Rufo, which is only formatter. Prettier is the Ruby plugin for that, and we can just install it and format in for example Vim or Visual Studio Code. And we got also two forks from Go, inspired from Go FMT, Rubyfmt. This is some quite new. We'll see. We'll make a review from that. So how it works? It gets some parser from the language. As we see, we have here simple hello world statement, and Ruby parsers. One is default from Ruby Reaper class, which we have from basic library, standard library, and Ruby parse is a gem which is used by Rubocop. It's purely written in Ruby, so it's a little bit more cumbersome. So it works maybe longer, but they say that they can. This is more readable than the Reaper output. So yeah, this is what is faster and what is better. Thing we need to take some compromise for that. This is only the introduction to how it works, and after such formatters get some output from there and reformat the code again and output to the file. So firstly, Rubocop. It's not so fast, but has very good advanced configuration, which is not well perceived in the world of formatters, because we should have almost one style per even all Ruby community, and this is easier to go to the other project, and you don't need to enforce a specific configuration of such configuration of the formatters and and style linters, for example, from Rubocop. Rubocop can be also be a formatter. We have such parameters to use it as a formatter. So we have autocorrect offenses. We can use just -x parameter to fix the layout only, and we can also enforce only some cops to be some faster, to use Rubocop faster and as formatter. This is the basic test which I ran for every formatter which has update currently. So we see that Rubocop is enforcing the max. It's not enforcing max, but perceive the the table structure. So we can see it's more readable than before, and maybe some blocks are well formatted. But sometimes we see that even after two runs of formatters with overcommit, because this is it started 2 years ago. It's currently getting less update than Prettier, because Prettier is well known because it's it's commonly used in JavaScript world, in the others also languages. We can easily attach to some visual code style or something like that. There are some problems with chained here docs. This Rufo to our race project, and all tests passed through, so it's quite okay. Some fancy only examples are not passing in the issues, but they will be fixed, I think. In the config options, we will have only two things. We will have trailing commas and parents in dev. Mostly the formatters from Ruby beside Rubocop are enforcing the parents in all methods, so which is not so commonly used in the Ruby world, but maybe that was simpler to implement and maybe more safe. So Rufo is also passing the test. We see that the blocks are more compact, but this is not more readable. But in my opinion, I think that maybe it's those changes which Rufo made are not so maybe not aggressive changes, but that enforce also security in these changes. That we are sure that we don't lose something by the formatter if we run it. And so I think it's quite good, but other formatters made this part better. And here we have some uglifier part of this Rufo. He switched every strings to double quotes, and as we can see also here with params, he indented so data, so it's not so good. So this is not so sophisticated in this example. Maybe not bad. You can just used to it. Rufo is fast. Even Batsov, main creator of the Rubocop, said that is really a problem, and they created a still opened pull request issue to that Rubocop is very slow sometimes in comparison to, for example, Rufo. Now we have Rubyfmt. This is something quite new. Started 5 months ago, really. There was a fork 2 years ago, but was silently dead. Only one person maintained that. In Rubyfmt, also Prettier contributors are take apart some part on the beginning, so maybe it will go better with the time. We will see, and it is fast, integrated with a shell. There is no Ruby gem for that, so it feels like it's not matured yet. There are no config options, just output the style which they enforced. No max chars per line, so this is not major. I don't think it's quite it's worth to even to use it now. They broke some files on RSpec and not only. So here is the Ruby test. here we see that in the JavaScript world that all the objects are on next line. Every item on each object in the table or something like that. So Prettier and the Rubyfmt does it, and this is test designed by Prettier. This is quite similar when the output of Prettier, which will be soon, and I think it's quite good. Yeah, but Rubyfmt problems. I had a problem with secure navigation, with secure call. We got some expectation of dot between the methods, so maybe this is easy to fix, but I don't know. Here we see also that double splat of the hashes also doesn't work. Even if I change the order of the splat and of the hash in the candidates parameter, the candidate parameter was gone, and the formatter lose the meaning of the original code. So that was painful. And Rubyfmt also needs more parents. Like in RSpec, we need to use parents in match because he will throw some error. We have OMG error even. So yeah, this is not production ready, I think. So Prettier-ruby is fast and opinionated in many languages as plugin to text editors. Plugin is started 7 months ago and has many updates and issues, solved and not solved. But community is really into that. We have many config options. We can prefer single quotes, prefer hash labels, etc. So it's fine. It's not so much like in Rubocop. Here we see they designed those tests on the repo. So they are proud how it looks like after this Ruby formatting. I think it's fine, but where are the problems here? For example, they forced to change the symbol arrays into shorthand of that, even if we have one item there. So we can use to it, but yeah, I don't think it's pretty. Also, we see that this problem here. He didn't even care about max line length. Didn't break the lines in the hash. So this is uglified. And if we have very long permit list in the controllers, they will list each one on each line. So we can have very long hash definitions, and we cannot. If we have some linters, we cannot rely on that because they will every time switch to the to those not compact format of the hashes. So Prettier problems. I also sometimes they switched the code from validation, for example, that it didn't work. He used a shorthand which he cannot use here. and he also switched to double quotes, the double quotes to single quote string, and didn't unescape the chars. So we get some error here. So it's not so mature maybe, because I got some problems with running the suit on my project. Here is the speed comparison. So as we can see, Rufo is very fast. On the left, I run the formatter through all the files, and Rubocop, as we can see, is fast after some runs, because it uses cache for that, and after next run he has faster results. So as we can see, whole project formatter works 15 seconds on first run, and 3 seconds after some of runs. So it's nice improvement. Prettier is maybe not so fast in whole project formatting, but when we format just one file. So this is not the case to format many files at once. So this is the real part of the comparison of speed. So Prettier is per file is I think acceptable, because it's less than half a second, and I didn't add here Rubyfmt. Rubyfmt is close to Prettier, but has some problems that I just skipped his speed. When we can use formatter, we can in Visual Studio Code set up 3 actions to format such thing: on file save, on code paste, on demand. Just make a command in the editor. We can also, of course, append it to pre-commit hooks on the Git, but it's better to see before the change to the commit how formatter will look like. So it's better to use those triggers which are listed here. I think that on file save, if we don't have 100% sure that it will work, it can be painful, because if we save on every time we get the same error. So maybe on code paste is working fine for now, and on demand we also can format some arrays if we add some new item to it. So to sum up, how to live, we should use linters. That is other use cases for that than only formatting and layout things. We should chill out sometimes with our code style wars, and I think that sometimes you get used to use maybe do and int and for longer statement in the blocks. Sometimes we just can use the colons for that, and that will also be fine, because we will see that this is the block and this is easy. And I think you can try Prettier formatter on demand, on paste, report issue on GitHub, and that will work for the that will work the best, I think. Yeah, Rubocop is not so good formatter. It's very very heavy, I think, and if you save many times a file and he will all the time reformat it, it will cost the processor. So maybe this is the way, I think. It's well connected to the Visual Studio Code and other things. So maybe take a try for it. Thanks for listening. Oh, sorry. Yeah, and that's all.